Andrew, what was attractive about bringing him in?
Yeah, like the pitcher, I think we've talked to Andrew and been engaged with him in each of his last two forays into free agency. So maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So lined up this time around. Just always really liked the fit, his specific pitch repertoire, style. Obviously, we've talked about the left-handed thing at PNC. So first and foremost, just have always liked him and liked him as a pitcher, and particularly like the fit with our team at PNC. And then after we traded Ortiz, we've been we were hoping to try to replenish that, strengthen the rotation somehow. Had worked on a handful of different things over the course of the offseason, so kind of had our eye on that. Talked to a small handful of starting pitcher free agents and some trade stuff, and then fortunately things lined up with Andrew. We're excited about it.
Would it be fair to say he kind of profiles similar to Bailey in this terms of what they can do and how they can get outs?
There's some important differences. I mean, they're obviously both left-hand starters who throw a ton of strikes, so I think that part's consistent. Obviously, believe in both of them and what they can do in our rotation. I think Andrew's pitches and pitch mix is a little bit different and gets outs a little bit differently. Probably a little bit more miss in there. Maybe just a little bit broader assortment of pitches. They're a different style, but we're excited about both.
How does this change kind of the outlook of the starting rotation? Is there a possibility for a 6-man rotation, or does this allow you to kind of build up OV and kind of take it really easy with him too?
Yeah, don't think it changes anything in the short term, other than we believe it makes us stronger and deeper. And at this time of the year, that's a good feeling to have. We want to have more options, not less, in the rotation. But in terms of the spring training plans, it's not going to change anything in terms of the guys that are going to get stretched out. We all know that things can happen. Knock on wood, we hope not too much happens. We'll hope for boring, but be prepared for the alternative. And it's good to have that strength and depth. But excited to continue to see whether it's Carmen or Caleb Ferguson or Ovi, obviously coming off the injury, different situation. Want to keep getting those guys stretched out. We believe they're all capable. Oviedo is really important to us. We also want to be mindful that he's missed a full year and really handle this return the right way, set him up for a long career.
You mentioned Carmen. What exactly went into those conversations? And he mentioned end of year exit interviews last year, kind of bringing up the idea of going back into a starting role. What kind of factored into lengthening him out, getting him to 3 innings this spring?
I think from the time he first pitched out of the bullpen for us, literally from that day, he's been pretty consistent in his communication with us that I'll do whatever it takes to help the team, and I don't want to give up on starting. So we encourage that open communication. He's taken advantage of the forums he's had to continue to express interest in that in a really professional, thoughtful way. We agreed at the beginning of last season that we heard him, and we felt like we were going to ask him to pitch in the pen for now, and that we see examples all over the game of guys doing that and going back to the rotation at some point in the future. So at the end of the season, we had a chance to sit down again and agreed that it made sense for him to put himself in a position this offseason to give himself a chance to be a starter. We agreed that we'd get his volume built up in spring training to some point, probably at least 3 innings, and then we'll assess and see where we are, and just continue that communication with him.
I know you guys are always open to moves or trades, but are you guys looking to make additional major league free agent signings or roster moves right now, or are you more focused on seeing what you have here in spring training?
I'd say primarily focused on the players that are here, and certainly believe the group that we have here. We always have to keep an open mind. We're not nothing on the doorstep or anything like that. As I think I mentioned before, free agency does start to wane at some point, and probably at that point where free agency starts to wane a little bit. And I think as we get deeper into spring training and the season, probably the trade market is where we'll spend more of our time. Have to stay open-minded to that, always looking for ways to get better, but primarily focuses on the guys here and our belief in them.
Do you view Oviedo as an option for the opening day roster? I don't believe he's faced live hitters yet.
Yeah, I think we have plenty of time for that. We haven't made any decisions. He's looked really good velocity's in a good spot. He's in great shape. He's done the work. We just want to take it a step at a time. He's missed a full year, and I think he's going to tell us more than anything kind of how this is going to go. We also know that he's not going from 0 innings to 200. We're going to look at the entire year and find a comfortable spot, roughly a comfortable spot for him to land in terms of total volume, and that'll play some role in how we manage it early in the season.
This also gives you some cushion with some of your top pitching prospects that with Heaney there, you could give those guys a little bit of time. Was that part of it, or is that just you're still hoping that maybe they'll push for a spot in the rotation the way Jared did?
I mean, I really think that primarily and way by far the first thing on the list as it relates to Andrew Heaney is just Andrew Heaney, and like I said, we've had interest in him for several years and really believe in the fit here with us, and excited to add that pitcher to the team. That's the first and foremost. But yeah, it does. I think it strengthens and deepens the overall group, and hopefully that means that guys in our position to push us, and I think we've shown in the past we're willing to put guys in the majors when they're ready to do that and help us win games, and I don't expect that'll change.
Predicting pitching injury is about impossible, but even going back to the pre-draft process with Paul and scouting, were there traits, characteristics that felt that gave you guys confidence he might have a better probability of being a durable workhorse?
With Paul? With Paul,
with Paul,
yeah. We did a lot of work on it. As you said, I don't think we don't have a formula that perfectly predicts these things. We've had pitching injuries in our organization like every team, so it's not something we've figured out or solved the riddle on. But we do a lot of analysis. Certainly, when you're picking first overall, you're gonna pour every resource you can into that. I think with Paul, just a combination of certainly the physical part of it. He's a big, strong guy. Great athlete, good mover. We have delivery analysis that we do that uses all sorts of inputs, and we felt like he does things pretty efficiently for a guy his size. And then I think to some degree you're betting on the human being and the work ethic and just his adherence to a schedule between starts and how compliant he is. So it's a combination of all those things, and certainly really believed in him and believed in his ability to stay on the mound frequently, but we don't have a perfect science for this.